According to family law, Frederick Thomas Downey, or Tom as he was known, was born in Goulburn, New South Wales in 1881 to William Downey and Ethel Sharp. A dark-haired, blue-eyed boy, the rural recession of the 1890s saw Tom move to the rough working-class suburb of Balmain in Sydney. It's here it's believed he met Jessie Wilkin, the husband of Elizabeth née Langdon, a couple who had become Tom's in-laws following his marriage to Eliza's sister Harriet in Brisbane in 1909. The newlyweds moved with Harriet's two daughters, Nellie Alvina, 15, and Hyleen Effie Langdon, 9, to Yamundi, where Tom found work as a sawyer and labourer, and in 1910 their daughter Queenie Esther was born. Heavily involved in the town, Tom ran the Methodist church bazaars, shooting gallery, and refereed local football matches, while Harriet concerned herself with meetings about the new School of Arts and raising their girls. In 1912, expecting their fourth daughter, Ella Marjorie, the couple spent the substantial sum of £22 to purchase land in Yamundi. But by 1915, following the birth of their fifth child, Zena Esme, Harriet was living in Gympie and Tom, 32, had volunteered for the Australian Imperial Forces. Listing Harriet as his next of kin, Tom requested that 4 shillings of his daily pay be paid to her, and a month later, in August 1915, Private Downey of the 8th Reinforcement's 9th Battalion embarked for overseas service on the HMAT Kiara and was sent to Mudros on the Greek island of Lemnos. War diaries describe this period as easy training in cold and rough weather, including November snows. Conditions were so poor that the men were ordered to stop shaving to grow beards to protect their face and throats from the cold. From the bitter cold of Greece to the extreme heat of Egypt in April, Tom was assigned to the 49th Battalion and marched 40 miles over the desert to the Suez Canal. June brought a nasty dust storm and a transfer to the 50th Battalion, whereupon Tom was sent to Marseille and granted 1 day of sightseeing before moved to the Western Front. It was here on the 7th of June 1917 that it seems Thomas engaged in his first and only battle of the war. When his battalion was ordered to capture the strategic position at Messines Ridge, the casualties were heavy. 7 died of wounds, 274 wounded, and 29 missing. Thomas was listed as one of the 66 men killed in action. Fighting was so fierce that there are no eyewitness accounts of how he died or where he fell. His body was never recovered. Without a grave or final resting place, Thomas Downey's sacrifice is remembered on the Ypres Meningate Belgium Memorial, as well as in his adopted hometown of Yamundi, where his name appears on the Yamundi Honour Board and on a plaque under his memorial tree planted in October 1917 at the top of Gridley Street. Perhaps the biggest testament to what kind of man Tom was is the fact that Hyleen Effie took her stepfather's last name, using it until she married in 1927, 10 years after Thomas Downey died in the Great War.